This I am excited about. I mean, this couldn't happen at a better time. Great friend came in, I invited her to stop down, and we happen to have some spare time right now before our next guest because he just started doing a podcast. I'm shot out of a cannon. Jay, I talked to these guys about the person. This is AJAYE. I met her when I was down here at NAMM. She was playing at the roof at Old Red. And man, this is so cool. I'm just so glad. So I'm going to flip it over to Jay and let him start the show like he always does with his Metal Summit fashion.
Oh, you know the deal. It's always how it's going to be, Metal Summoners. Thank you again so much for tuning in. We're going to jump right into this. It's, like Bobby said, we got a little bit of spare time. But, of course, we're always your island of misfit toys. Jay, Bobby, Angel, Psycho Steve. But we're going to jump right into it. AJ, how are you, love?
I'm good. How are you?
So talk a little bit about being here at Rockin' Pod and being in Nashville.
Yeah, I've been living in Nashville for a little over 4 years now, and this is my first Rockin' Pod, and connected with Bobby when I was playing at the rooftop at Old Red, which is called The Lookout, and became fast friends. And so it is busy today, which is really cool. It's really cool to see so many awesome people just like be in one space together and just talk music.
Absolutely, for sure. So talk a little bit real quick about what you've got going on and what you've got coming up.
Yes, so I just released a new single called Growing Up, which I wrote over the past year with a dear friend of mine, Joni Delorier, and I would describe it's more Americana, so it's not quite metal, but it has a universal message that we talk about how in life you just never stop growing up. It doesn't matter if you're 5 years old or 30 or 93, like there's so much that you can learn through life, and you never stop learning and you never stop growing up.
That's awesome. Right on. So Angel, why don't you jump in, brother?
Well, you moved from Vancouver to Nashville, which is two really music cities, like Vancouver, where a lot of records have been recorded. What is it like? What's different about Vancouver and Nashville?
That's a really good question. Definitely Vancouver is a hey man,
Hi,
how you doing?
This is Psycho Steve. Sorry.
Hi Psycho Steve, nice to meet you. I love the hat, man. I love it.
You heard
I
they
love
have a
it.
comment, Wandering Jew?
There you go.
I love it. Hello, my friend.
It's not just a plant.
So yeah, Vancouver is an awesome music scene, and I'm so fortunate that I grew up playing a couple of the different clubs there. But really, I'm a songwriter through and through, and if you want to build a fire, you got to go where the wood is, and so that led to I don't know if that's the right analogy. I kind of just threw that one out from the seat of my pants. but that's or like if you want to fish, you got to go where the water is, and so it really just became that decision that Nashville really is the place to learn to songwrite and to really hone your craft, and just it's such an inspiring city. And I've had the fortunate gift of being able to record at Bryan Adams' studio in Vancouver, The Warehouse, which is just really cool. So my last record that I put out, we recorded it live off the floor to 2-inch tape, so it has still that more rock, country Americana kind of feel to it. And so I would say both places are pretty awesome and pretty inspirational.
That's awesome.
Right
on. Well, Psycho Steve, let's bring you in on our conversation with AJ, one of Bobby's artists.
So I actually was fortunate to watch some of your live, because he's a proud father, gloating. He was like, "You gotta check out my artist, Steve."
Oh my God, look at who we found.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about it is she met with a great friend of mine down here, Gary Burr, who's a songwriter.
Right.
Gary's worked with Carole King. He's out with Mark Hudson
right
tonight.
now.
And it's just wonderful. But AJ's got this style about her that connects to everybody's spirit. And like she was saying, we're the Metal Summit. There's a lot of rock going on. A good song is a good song is a good song. And when it hits you like a rock, whether it's Lita or whoever, it's like, wow. So, but Steve, I'm going to throw it right back.
Music's like poetry.
Thank you.
That's how I look at music. It's like poetry. If it speaks to you, it's good.
Yeah.
Your influences kind of reminded me of Jewel.
Thank you.
So I don't know. Do you feel a connection with that, or?
Oh, 100%. And I grew up really my mom's a musician as well, and my dad is so thorough, like just knows so much about music history, and so he's always that person I go to when I'm like, what should I be checking out? Like he always steers me right for musical taste, and my mom as well, and that's a huge compliment because Jewel's amazing.
I was
And
just like, when I was listening, I was like, wow, when am I getting this album?
Thank
When am I getting this album?
Well, she's doing singles. We're in the talks of a couple things. I have a couple people here who I want to introduce.
Less
you.
talk, more action, Bobby.
Okay, I know.
But so-
not for that part. No, not for that part. I'm saying for Steve to get hooked up.
Yeah, I wanted an
Yeah,
album.
so I would say, like,
I grew
for-
up with album musicians all my life. I
Yeah.
love this talented person in my family. You know, my grandma was a professional singer. She sang with Les Paul. She sang
Wow.
with Bob Hope, and she
Wow.
sang USO in the 30s,
What?
stuff like that. Yeah. So, like I said, I have no talent. You know. So,
But-
hence the
but
perfect
that's-
face for a radio.
But that is a great rule that you always want to be the least talented
Oh,
person
yeah,
in the room
around
because there's so much that you can
people, I
learn.
am
Right?
around them. So there you go.
But yeah, I would say for influences. I mean, I'm wearing a Zeppelin shirt right now, so
and we
that
love
that
that.
and I was like, okay, I'm stopping by the Metal Summit. I'm stopping by the Rock and Pod. I need to like
Look, rock and
wear
roll.
look rock. I need to like wear my roots, and so it's everything from like Zeppelin to Skinner to Jewel to like Blue Rodeo up in Canada to Brandy Carlisle to. My mom's a musician as well. So she plays. She has a actually you guys are probably dig. She has a band called Head that's like pretty heavy rock, and then she also has singer songwriter and a trio called Stone Poets, and so it's been really amazing to grow up with a musical mom, and she's been just such an inspiration for me. And we did music together when I was growing up, which was just
Nice.
super fun and like a good way to kind of like get my feet wet with music and just like be in a safe space because you know there's a lot of people everywhere, and so
But that's awesome that you have such a support system.
yeah,
That's so important.
Yeah, I love my parents so much, and they're just amazing human
Absolutely.
beings, and so
No.
they're also influences for me too because if they didn't have good music taste,
It's
then
super awesome.
Yeah.
It's
Then I
super
wouldn't
important
either.
because, you know, family is everything, and we're a very family-oriented show as well with all of our loved ones. But, AJ, we can't thank you enough. Bobby
This
thinks
is
so
great.
highly of you. And thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your schedule just to swing by our table and chat for a bit.
well, absolutely.
Where can we find her?
Where can you be found?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. You can find me at. I'm just gonna spell out my name because it's AJ, but it is AJAYE is my name on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube is just AJ, but AJAYEmusic.com is the one-stop hub. You can get all the music, my Patreon, my Instagram, my YouTube. Everything is linked there.
Right on.
Well, AJ, thank you so much.
Thank
Enjoy your
you
day,
so
but we'll talk to you a little
much.
bit later for
Absolutely.
sure.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you so much, Metal Summoners. We love you guys. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll be back with you shortly. Next up, Ace Von Johnson. You've been watching the Metal Summit.
Dun, dun, dun.